spending time with your friends, staying connected. It might seem simple, but it actually plays a much bigger role in your life than you think, especially as you get older. Because here's something most people don't talk about enough. Your sex life doesn't just disappear with age. In fact, many people over the age of 65 continue to have an active, intimate life. But the real difference lies in how satisfying that experience is. And here's the interesting part. Research has shown that individuals over 65 who report higher satisfaction in their sex life tend to age more successfully overall. They often have better physical health, stronger emotional well-being, and a more positive outlook on life. So this isn't just about intimacy, it's about your overall quality of life. That raises an important question. What actually determines whether someone remains satisfied as they age? Is it purely physical health? Is it mindset? Or is it something deeper? To answer that, researchers conducted long-term studies to identify patterns and factors that influence satisfaction in later years. Because if certain behaviors or habits are linked to better outcomes, that gives us something valuable to work with. It means this isn't entirely out of your control. It means there are things you can do, starting now, that may influence how you feel years down the line. And that's exactly what we're going to explore. To understand what affects sexual satisfaction over time, researchers carried out a large study involving thousands of participants across different age groups. This wasn't a small experiment. It was designed to represent a broad population. The data was collected over multiple years, allowing researchers to track changes and patterns rather than just a single moment in time. Participants were divided into two main groups. The first included middle-aged individuals, roughly between 40 and 64 years old. The second group focused on older adults, those aged 65 and above. Each group included several thousand participants, making the findings more reliable. The researchers asked a wide range of questions. They didn't just focus on sexual satisfaction, they also looked at overall health, emotional well-being, cognitive function, and social connections. This allowed them to see how different aspects of life might influence intimacy. Some results were expected. For example, older participants tended to have more health-related issues compared to the middle-aged group. There were also natural declines in cognitive function and a reduction in the number of close social contacts. Interestingly, levels of depression were fairly similar between both groups, but one subtle difference stood out. When asked how important intimacy and sexuality were in their lives, older participants rated it slightly lower than younger individuals. This doesn't mean they didn't value it, it simply suggests a shift in priorities over time. Another key finding was that, on average, satisfaction with sex life did decrease with age. But here's the important part. It didn't decrease for everyone. Some individuals maintained a high level of satisfaction even later in life. So the real focus became what separates those who remain satisfied from those who don't. When researchers analyzed the data more deeply, several patterns became clear. Some factors that reduced sexual satisfaction were predictable. For example, individuals who reported poorer health or multiple medical conditions were less likely to feel satisfied with their sex life. Similarly, those experiencing depression also tended to report lower satisfaction. But beyond these, there were three particularly important factors that stood out. The first, and perhaps most impactful, was loneliness. People who felt socially isolated were significantly more likely to experience dissatisfaction in their intimate life. And this makes sense. Human connection isn't just physical, it's emotional. When someone lacks meaningful relationships or regular interaction, it can affect their overall sense of fulfillment. And in today's world, this is becoming more common. Many people spend more time alone, often connected through screens rather than real-life interactions. As a result, feelings of isolation can quietly grow over time. The second factor was how much importance someone placed on sexuality. Individuals who considered intimacy to be an important part of their life were more likely to be satisfied. This highlights the role of mindset. If you value something, you're more likely to invest time and effort into maintaining it. The third finding was related to gender. Women, on average, reported lower levels of satisfaction compared to men. This is likely due to physical changes that occur later in life, particularly after menopause. These changes can include discomfort, dryness, and reduced desire, all of which can impact the overall experience. But here's the key takeaway. None of these factors are permanent. They can be addressed, improved, or managed with the right approach. So what can you actually do to maintain a satisfying sex life as you get older? The answer isn't complicated, but it does require intention. First, focus on connection. Staying in touch with friends, family, or a partner plays a major role in emotional well-being. Even small actions, like sending a message or having a short conversation, can help maintain that sense of connection. And that emotional bond often carries over into physical intimacy. Second, take care of your physical health. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and good sleep all contribute to better energy, circulation, and overall function. These factors directly influence how your body responds and feels. Third, don't ignore changes. If you or your partner are experiencing discomfort or a decrease in desire, there are options available. Many of these issues can be addressed with simple treatments or guidance from a healthcare professional. The key is not to dismiss them as just part of aging. Fourth, prioritize intimacy. If you consider it important, you're more likely to maintain it. That doesn't mean forcing anything. It means staying open to it and making it a part of your life in a way that feels natural. Finally, communicate. Being open with your partner about needs, concerns, and expectations can significantly improve both emotional and physical satisfaction. At the end of the day, sexual well-being is part of overall well-being. It doesn't suddenly stop mattering after a certain age. If anything, it becomes more closely tied to how you experience life as a whole. So invest in your health, stay connected with the people around you, and don't overlook the importance of your own happiness. Because taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, and socially is what truly makes the difference.